Hey Josh,
Yeah.
this week in startups?
We got lasers, poaching, and Facebook. Stay tuned. Toby, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Yes, very good.
Excellent. Welcome to this week in
Startups. So it's a bit of a dreary day in Melbourne.
Yeah?
Yeah, right. Like it's a bit weird.
Kind of like what I found was I went out this morning. I got out of bed at 4:44.
4:44. Triple four.
Yeah, I do it most days, except for Wednesday. I get to sleep in on Wednesdays. But I get out of bed. I'm like, oh, it's freezing. Mm-hmm. I go out of my house. I'm like,
It's strangely warm.
Strangely warm,
right?
And then just went for lunch. I was like, oh, it's getting a little bit cold.
So confusing.
I find that I'm in an abusive relationship with the Melbourne weather.
So this week in startups,
Yep.
I think we got some cool things.
Yep.
Fire the laser.
Tell me.
Fire the laser.
Tell me.
So we have really cool tech coming out of University of Washington.
Yep.
They're developing amazing things to take us away from cords, from connected life. We love that. You love the AirPods.
Mate, I'm all about the wireless. In fact, I laugh at people at the gym. They've got their headphones in and the wires.
And it's just like they're getting confused.
Dude,
yeah.
that's so 1980s. It's like Walkman style.
Just like, so they've come out with cool research to say like, you don't need a charger for your phone anymore. And that's really cool. So,
Hold on.
so we've got wireless now, like
wireless.
in like a really crappy way. You got like a
Pads.
pad,
Yeah.
like, but it doesn't mean that you're like free from wires because you still got to go to the pad to like charge your phone, right?
Yeah, I mean, my watch, right? I drop it on this magnetic, almost like a pad,
Yeah.
and it charges overnight.
But you shouldn't have to put your phone somewhere. Like really, if you want true wireless, you shouldn't have to put your phone or your watch somewhere just so it can in that specific place so it can charge.
I agree. However, I'll tell you, this isn't a charging thing. This morning, I got off the treadmill,
Yeah.
and I'm walking out the gym, and all of a sudden my AirPods are going. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I'm like, what? I went to reach for my phone. I actually left my phone on the treadmill.
Okay.
So
true wireless left you connected.
Yeah, well, it left me connected, although the phone was literally probably 100, well, probably 50, 75 meters away before it started to crackle. But what would have worried me is if I had true wireless, and I would have driven
just
home.
like gone straight.
Yeah, and someone else changing the music in my ears, but
So this tech's really cool. It like what their aim is to say, hey, okay, now they know that they can fire lasers at a photovoltaic cell, so like a solar cell, and it can charge your phone.
what about this cell?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's cellulitis? Can they fire this cell? Sorry, I am a father. I'm a father of two. My dad jokes.
Your dad jokes are phenomenal.
Sorry.
Every day Toby comes in with unbelievable dad jokes. You got to be at Cubes to believe it.
My kids appreciate it if no one else does, and that makes me the local hero.
And so they've got these lasers, and they say you can be anywhere in the room, and these lasers, what they have to do is actually line up with your phone. They're invisible. They're like infrared, close to infrared. And so they line up with your phone, and they have to hit it and charge it. But what's the biggest problem with firing lasers at random around the room? Probably your eyes. So they've also thought of this.
Okay.
So they've said, okay, so how do we know that it's charging our phone? So they have a built-in like cube on the phone that directly sends a laser back to the shooting laser.
You know I have a trademark on Cubes, right? That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so they know if it's not hitting that cube, it potentially is in someone's eyes. Cut it off.
But surely they could offer free LASIK surgery at the same time.
I'll speak to my friends at the University of Washington and see what they have to say.
Please. So long as they hit the eyes and not the balls.
Yeah, like the crown jewels. That's it. That's the most important part.
That could hurt population. What
Seriously.
else?
So we've got some awesome things coming out of, I guess, Silicon Valley, but applied in a really relevant way. So we've seen a lot of problems with poaching. You know, there's been public outcry about rhinos being poached.
Yeah.
We've heard in China that
they started painting their tusks pink.
Yeah, so they started painting their tusks pink, but it still didn't deter poachers. To some extent it has, because what they realize they can do now is just bleach it afterwards and sell it for the same price. And it goes up for $100,000 a kilo in China, and they believe it can cure anything, including cancer.
Hold on.
That's what the tusks are used for.
Is that right?
Yeah. And so that's why the market is so hot for rhino tusks. And it's really disappointing, right? Because poachers are going out there, and they're disadvantaged families usually as well, who don't have really much economic hope. So for them, this is huge. And they're going around.
But what's in the tusk?
It's like Chinese medicine, you know. So it's not like scientifically bad.
But surely, so for science, a rhino goes down. I'm sorry. We're able to extract the materials, and surely we're able to petri dish.
Well, so
right?
Last year there was news about a guy 3D printing the rhino horns.
Yeah, but surely there's
So I don't know what happens around that, but the problem is that because there's high demand for it, there's continued poaching, and the problem is that in order to protect a rhino, we have to effectively poach the poachers. We have to be
I like that idea.
We have to be faster than them, as fast as possible, to know where they are and prevent them from poaching. And that's the only way that we can solve it. So this company, Dimension Data, coming out of Silicon Valley, they've teamed up with Cisco systems, and they've developed this amazing system of thermal cameras and biometric gateways to detect poachers. And so they've been testing it on one site in South Africa, and over the past 2 years, poaching went from 70 rhinos in the year before they started to 0 2 years later. How amazing is that?
I like it.
And you know the whole reason that's happened is because they've cut response time from 30 minutes down to 7. So they're more effectively...
Can I have that, like, for my Apple tech support?
Geolocate Toby who needs help?
Yeah. I actually don't. Actually, I end up being tech support for a lot of people. But that's amazing.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's really cool, right?
And so we should still poach the poachers.
We should definitely still poach the poachers, and that's what they kind of do. They
take them out, or they just jail them?
I think that it's like a military style protection of these animals in South Africa on these
wow. Game reserves.
Game reserves.
Yeah, parks, yeah.
But also, you know, it's a $23 billion industry. So it's pretty huge, and they're some of the only ones doing it really successfully.
Great.
So they're moving into the other parts of Africa and India. I think it'll be pretty cool. And
That's
so
really
got their next plans are to cut their response time from 7 minutes to 3.5.
Beautiful.
So,
but even though they've gone from 70 to 0, I don't even know if they need to get that faster.
Well, that's only just for that farm, right? So they need to.
They'll get smarter. They'll get faster.
Yeah, you know, it's a constant race.
I tell you what, any of you poachers watching, I'm gonna come and get you.
We're gonna come and get you.
I heard a rumor.
Yep.
Actually, not a rumor. Zuckerberg tried to hook me up with someone the other night.
Did you get the meetup request?
What's going on?
So Zuck is like,
I'm a married man.
So did you? I had it happen to me. I'm definitely in a relationship on Facebook, right? So.
In a relationship with Facebook? Or you're connected to your partner?
I'm connected to my partner,
So
we're in a relationship.
Yeah.
But they came to me about a month ago and they said, hey Josh, we're not like trying anything out, but you speak to these friends fairly often. Have you caught up with them in a while? How about you catch up with them? And there was this like pairing thing. It's like, if your friend says they want to meet up and you say you want to meet up with them, it'll send you a notice in your messenger and say, hey, you guys want to meet up? How about you organize a time? That was pretty cool.
I gotta tell you, I do like some of these tools. Mm-hmm. I don't know how I feel about like the whole relationship thing. Like from a one stack.
Yeah.
I wish you had a third because I'm a pretty good juggler.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I do. Damn.
Okay. next week in startups.
Next week in startups.
Toby does some juggling. I do like I had a beautiful memory of my oldest daughter coming yesterday. I like some of that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about this whole Tinderification aspect, especially when like one is in a relationship.
So I guess Zuck, what he said is Zuck, for those who don't know, there was a Facebook developer conference and they announced a whole bunch of things. One of them was this dating app. And it's not the app that I was just talking about, it's a real Tinder competitor.
Wow.
Which is crazy, you know, it makes sense, I guess, that Facebook is a social network and that they can take on the likes of Tinder.
I just don't see it as a solution for the mass exodus that's going on right now.
So you know how I think this is how I perceive that it will happen. Zuck has said that it's completely separate from Facebook. It uses Facebook and uses the people in your area and the knowledge about you, but it's actually completely separate. Like Messenger is separate from the Facebook app now. Maybe there'll be like a Finder. I don't know what they're going to call it.
Finder. You should trademark that.
And they
quick.
And Zuck is like really honest. He's like, we're focusing on long-term relationships. Oh yeah. So it's kind of strange, but you know what's interesting? Zuck announced this at his developer conference. Match.com shares fell by 18%.
Wow.
So people are genuinely worried that this is going to drive other players out of the market, or at least reduce their market share significantly.
So I had a bad experience with Facebook this week because of their mass exodus. My CPA jumped 35%.
Amazing.
No. Sorry, my CPC jumped by 35%. So the ads that I was serving last week were costing me, let's call it $70.
Yeah.
And now costing me north of $100.
Significant.
And so what they've done is we're like, all right, yeah, we're losing customers, but you still got to pay us what we're worth.
Yeah.
So that's a bad
keep
experience.
the investors happy, right?
Yeah, but that's a bad experience. I'm pissed off as an advertiser, and I've been looking all week on, okay, maybe I'm going to start spending money elsewhere, and I have, and we have. But I don't know about this, man.
It'll be interesting.
I do like the aspect of diversification. I just don't know. What I worry about mostly with all of these things is that we lose the human aspect of life.
Definitely.
And my kids, please God, I tell them they're not allowed to get married. They're going to live with mommy and daddy forever. And when they mention boys, I'm like that's not happening. But please God, my kids have kids and have a beautiful family. I don't want that. I don't want that to be lost with all this tech.
I understand, and it makes sense. I mean, you know, I think Facebook doesn't have everyone's interests at heart. That's for sure. And so we still have to tread cautiously with all these new tech. Facebook also announced a development for Instagram. You can now do live video chat with people, which is pretty cool. And they've also got this Spotify integration coming to Instagram. Now this is an interesting thing because you remember a couple of weeks ago we were talking about Spotify and they're like kind of one trick pony. All they do is music.
35B?
Yeah, that's what they
do. But you talked about a couple weeks ago, movie content.
And so they teamed up with Hulu, they're doing movie content. Now they've teamed up with Instagram and so you can stream from your Spotify or post to your story a song you've been listening to, a playlist you've been listening to. So getting Spotify in the hands of more people, getting a social element to Spotify, improving the social elements to Spotify. That's smart.
Do we really give a shit? Do I give a shit what music you're listening to?
No, but it launches a whole new category of Instagrammers.
Yeah, no, I get that. And like Apple's had this sort of like Apple channel and you can have followers.
It's weird. But teamed with Instagram, they've already got the followers. They don't need to work.
Yeah, fair enough.
On what's going on. So I think that's pretty cool.
I dig it. That's it.
We got one more announcement.
One more.
We have local news, always local news. Tipple, alcohol delivery, going international. Read an article this week, their growth has been 5% week on week. for more than a year.
That sounds like a business I'd like to be involved with.
Very cool. And the way that they work is, and the way that they've been able to expand, they've been so popular. They've had a lot of people signing up outside of who aren't in their zones.
Yeah.
And so they've been able to look at this data and say, okay, where are the people who are signing up? And developing delivery zones around where those people live. So they've actually had a bit, their national expansion plans have become a little bit easier.
Are they carrying inventory, or are they just picking and picking?
So they go to local bottle stores and they play the connecting piece.
Right.
So kind of like your...
And where are they hailing from? Sydney, Melbourne?
Started in Melbourne,
All right.
moving national now. So
it's a great job.
Very
Good
cool.
luck. If you need an investor or a lawyer, give us a shout.
Give us a shout, we're here. And that's this week in startups.
All right, Josh. See ya.